Commander Cockings and Captain Food here, yet again for another Trekyards mission briefing. Your Monday dollop, your Monday amount, your Monday just bit of goodness of a fan ship, of a Star Trek Online ship, of a FASA ship. And this week we are continuing our FASA ships. We're going to look at another ship of this Trek universe, discuss, theorise, and see what you guys think. What are we doing today, Stuart?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Samuel. This week we are looking at the Romulan V-30 Winged Defender Class 12 cruiser from FASA. Now, this ship looks like it might have been an evolutionary step in the design of the Klingon bird of prey, as we've kind of discussed the Klingon-Romulan fusion of ship designs. So, yeah, what do you think?
Well, now, dare I ask, why the Class 12? Why not the Class 7 Winged Defender? Why the Class 12?
Because that one's, I don't know, it's the newest one, I guess. The other 11 blew up.
Has a length of 187 metres and a crew of 350. Wow. And surprisingly, only 2 standard shuttles crafts. But let's take a look at the design and see what we can talk about, shall we? So, yeah, this is one of our top FASA designs, wasn't it?
It was.
It's a great picture, by the way. It's a really nice detailed picture.
Cool ship, yeah.
Well, so when was the first time you remember seeing it, and what was your first impression?
Well, of course, back in the 80s during FASA. This is one of the miniatures I never actually got, which is kind of strange because I really like this ship. I always have. But I got to admit, I like the feathering pattern. I love that Romulan aesthetic, which ties into the bird of prey somehow, and yeah.
Yeah, so you just thought it was a cool design at the time, but I remember you said you never used to. You didn't play FASA, so you didn't get really a chance to use it then. And when you played stuff with battles, you didn't really play Romulan, so you've never really used it in the classic game it's built for. Then.
Yeah, no, it's not even in Starfleet Battles. Starfleet Battles has a totally different take on Romulan design. So, but no, it's a cool little ship, and from what I've heard and over the years, it is one of the tougher ships for FASA as far as Romulans go. Kind of the bulk of their fleet. So.
Yeah, for me, this was Armada 2, and this was.
That's right, yeah.
It might have been Armada 1, but I think it was in Armada 2. It was one of the coolest different Romulan ships. You know, we knew there's very few designs, and then this one just really was like, wow. With 4 disruptors, it's one of the lower end ships, but with high firepower, so it blows up really quickly, but has a lot of punch. So you always send a fleet of these in. The 4 disruptor cannons, 2 on the wing, 2 bottom. It was a very, very strong ship, and I remember thinking that was one of the most interesting ships of the Romulan fleet. So I remember very distinctly when I first saw it, and I would always build them. Obviously didn't know it was back in FASA, so seeing it, it's like seeing an old friend, like, wow, there's a really old version, looks the same. Oh, I guess they built it first.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like you said in the intro. It's I think I said this in the top 10 we did. Yeah, I mean this very much feels like, you know, where they got some inspiration for the bird of prey to turn it from the Enterprise era one to the other one, because you know it's got that grilling. I think the designers must have seen these ships and said, let's link it in, because it has, you know, this is clearly nothing to do with the TOS one, has no links apart from the wing, apart from the things, but it's much closer to it's almost identical to the Klingon one. So I think it links better. But it's got the grilling where I don't know if the wings go up or down. I've never seen them go up or down, but
I believe they do actually. But it's an interesting take though, because on the Klingon bird of prey, the warp drive units are those grills on the top of the main hull at the back. This one has the warp engines on the wingtips.
Well, that's what Romulans do.
Yes. So it looks it's nice. I actually like this a lot better than the bird of prey take on the warp drive anyway. And then those 2 big cannons underneath are a beautiful touch.
Well, this is almost the Romulan version of the bird. I think I said that also in the intro. You know, the Klingons had a version. The Romulans thought, ooh, we like that birdiness. We'll build our own version and make it, you know, have their own aesthetic. And it's a nice little in-between. It's a nice touch to have the back wings, you know, the feathers on the plate, because that's just for style, you know.
I wonder if those move too somehow. That'd be kind of neat.
Possible. Well, I'm very surprised by, you said it's 187 meters and then 350 people. That's a lot of people for a short. I mean, that's barely bigger than the NX-01, and that had 100 people. So, I mean, where are these people?
Well, I don't know. You saw the bird of prey or the the warbird, as it were, in TOS. It's very Spartan ships, the Romulans.
Mm-hmm.
Their bridge was very small and compact, so I'm sure they crammed them in, and they're kind of bunk style accommodations.
That's a lot of people for very little surface area. I mean, it must be. But then, as you can see, really all they have in terms of living space is that front. Well, actually, if you take away the warp, wings, which aren't obviously livenable, the two guns, you can see it's just that one little structure. So the whole thing must be guns and people. I think that's probably pushing it. I would say 200 is with my max for this sort of ship. But yeah, it's a great picture.
Okay, so moving on to the next picture. So a great shot of it in action, firing at a Federation ship, and the wings are not as high as they were in the last picture.
Absolutely lower. Absolutely.
They're more in a, maybe that's the attack formation is kind of straight out for this one. And it looks like it has 3 impulse engines, or is that 2 impulse engines and a photon torpedo launcher, or a plasma torpedo launcher in the middle?
I would have guessed impulse just because the Romulans don't have the sticky outy ready bit like the Klingons do. They're much more in their torpedoes, their weapons are just subtly in the hull, so I'd say it's probably impulse. It does feel like a fast, maneuverable ship.
Oh yeah, it looks very agile for sure.
And that's a great shot. And my God, I mean, the model's great they've done, but the way the wings and the way that the wings are, the detailing of the wings and the way they're done, that looks like literally a bird of prey, going in attacking, very menacing. Yeah, great find there, Stuart. Great find. The next picture is a lot of details, and I've never seen this top view. It's a very odd top view, but that side view is like literally is an eagle, isn't it? I mean, that's such a view.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
It's good to get some more information out of though here. It's a heavy cruiser, medium-sized warship used by the Romulans.
First encountered in 2274. Wow, it's very, very early. I mean, it isn't that gap between TOS and TNG, but that's pretty early considering.
It took its name from the Vels Erstathum bird, native to Remus, which is noticed for vicious defense of its young during nesting time.
Nice. And it was never used against the Federation, only against the Klingons.
So that last picture was a lie. Liars.
That was the exception, but very cool.
And it served right up to the time of the Dederidex coming on the scene.
Nice.
Being removed from the reserve fleet in the early 2360s. Yeah, that's cool.
Hey, long lifespan. I mean, it's a great lifespan for a ship. Cool.
That top view, like you said, that looks kind of odd to me.
It doesn't even compute that. Yeah, it doesn't work, but it's because it's so dimensional, like from a side view, or from a 3/4. It's so dimensional that to represent that in 2D, it's kind of difficult. At least in the top view.
Yeah, but yeah, the side and the front look phenomenal.
Cool.
Awesome ship. All right, so moving on to the next picture. This is, of course, the original FASA information. Yeah, not much to say, really. Focal point of the fleet.
Flagships, indeed. Must have been their very much pride of place ship. Only of the approximately 35 built, all remained on active duty. That's not a lot of ships.
No. 8 disruptors arranged to give covering fire in all directions.
Wow.
And the newest plasma weapon of the time, the LP4-3, coupled with the cloaking device.
Wow. Cool. Powerful beast. I mean, imagine if this had gone against Kirk in TOS. Like, that would have been a battle.
Yeah, I would have liked to see more Romulan ships in TOS. Just the fact that we saw one, it was an impressive one with what it could do, but it wasn't very maneuverable, wasn't very fast. I wanted to see more variety from the Romulan.
And it was a test bed. It wasn't even like a warship. It was a test bed ship. So. But it's cool, man. I love that.
We did that in episode 1 of Trekyards.
We did. Tune back in for that one. Yeah, but it's a great design, and this is one of the truly it works FASA designs that I've seen. I mean, there's a lot of interesting ones, but I think this is one that just clicks. Like, yep, that works.
Yeah, I mean, it would make the transition right into a show or a movie just with no changes needed. Just go. Um,
Yeah.
and a lot of the fast, so like you said, a lot of the fast ships seem kind of incomplete.
Mm-hmm.
Like they needed another go over to get the
Yeah.
kinks out of them.
I mean, still great designs, you know, but this one is just like, yep, perfect. But anyway, the next shot is cool little detail shot. They've got this is obviously based off the fast one we just saw, but it shows they've got 2 impulse engines at the back. The last one we saw 1. I don't know what to say about this. I mean, again, the side view such a cool shot, and the front view. The front view looks a lot thinner than otherwise seems. I don't know.
Yeah, and those gun turrets on the bottom, are they supposed to be like the feet? Because they kind of look like the claws or the talons, maybe.
Basically.
Take those off, and it looks like first glance, I'd say it's a bird of prey. You know, round up the front or the top there a little bit. So, yeah, not much else to say about that. But the next shot is another great action shot of a few of them attacking the Federation again, even though apparently they never did.
Yeah, they're doomed. The guy's doomed, and he's retreating, and no off torpedoes. Very doomed. Yeah.
Oh, cool. I love seeing these FASA ships, these older designs, kind of in action shots. Because as a kid, I only saw them as miniatures and as the orthos, right? Like, the ships are so much more dynamic when you see them at different angles, and to see these shots and people really bring those ships to life, I really appreciate that. So,
yeah, you get new appreciation for just the 3D nature of some of these. Although this one looks more boxy than the other angles. Not sure why. Maybe because we're just seeing the bridge elements, and it is very I don't know. It's not an elegant ship, if that makes sense. It reflects the more boxy, you know, Constitution refit style. I think, you know, if you did a refit, give it the Doderidex neck or sort of beak, refine the guns a bit more, I think you could really make it a TNG ship very easily.
Oh, I would love to see a TNG version of this. That'd be awesome.
Cool.
And if you go to the next picture, it's a picture of one of the miniatures painted up with the cool Romulan paint scheme. But if you notice the head or the front of it is a different shape on this one. It's not as squared off. This is more of a rounded kind of cockpit feel almost.
Oh, very much so. It does change the scale. Now it feels like a fighter.
Yeah, exactly. I was just going to say that.
Yeah, but I like that a lot. I wouldn't necessarily chosen blue because it does make it feel like it's got some sort of sheen of a cockpit. But
unless that's what they're going for, and this is a fighter design. Because to be honest, for a fighter design, this is perfect. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Honestly, why not? Although the warp engines, I suppose. Well, yeah, just replace the warp engines with cannons. I don't remember having specifically warp engines in Armada 2 because there was weapons firing from those. So, no, it looks great. Again,
probably disruptors because, like we said, it had 8 disruptors that fire in all directions. So there's probably some mounted on the ends of those nacelles.
Cool. Our next photo is another great shot. Different front again, bit more pointed, bit sleeker. I think this is a fan. Just slight improvement over the boxiness.
I think this is the first model we saw just at a different angle. Judging by the detailing on the back part there.
Could be. Well, then it's interesting that the ship does look so different at different angles.
It's one of those deceptive ships that, you would mistake it for a different ship almost from certain angles. Absolutely. This one's interesting. It's got 2 red glowing parts at the front, which I would assume would be weapons mounts. Not at the front, but like just in front of the wings there.
I would assume so. And that definitely looks like, just like the Klingon bird of prey with the wings, those wings can move. I mean, that's clear, how they're hinged. But I'd love to see a down view. I mean, all the different. Well, if you have a Winged Defender model, send it in. If the wings can move, that'd be really interesting to see.
Anyway, moving on to the last picture. This is a great shot of like a fleet of them, 4 of them at least in warp. I would assume. I don't know.
Yeah.
Looks cool, and I don't know how much movement or articulation is on those wings, but I would love to see. I would love to see if they have a downward position. I don't think they do from everything I've seen. Like that one shot, it looked like they were a little bit more flat for attack position, maybe, but it would make sense that they articulate somewhat, I think. And I would like to see more shots of that if it was indeed the case.
Make one and send it in. But that top shot, those top two, well, all of them really, but it really looks aggressive. It looks like it's going to come and destroy you. I mean, the Trekyards is not an aggressively frightening ship. It kind of isn't. It's a very big, bulbous, but it's not like, ah, damn. You know, the Nurixon's like, ah, damn. This one's, ah, damn. I don't know, I'm doing an accent. But this, I mean, imagine though, like, if you slightly refit the shapes to make them sleeker, just slightly, this would look beautiful next to a fleet of Valdors. You've got 3 Valdors, you've got 6 of these. Maybe you've got Romulan shuttle there for some reason. Like, this would be a devastating, you know, you and your, I mean, even you in a Defiant. I mean, I did that animation, you know, Defiant calls reinforcements. You know, I wanted to show what it would look like. You know, any ship Starfleet would be like, oh, that's not a good fleet. We might be doomed. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but this one's better with scale though, because it's got, unlike the one with the cockpit, they've actually got the windows to get a good sense. This feels bigger just because of the windows. That really does make a difference, and it does feel more natural to me. Like that's how big I think it should be. That's like 7 decks tall or something.
Yeah, I think even scaling up a bit more than this would be beneficial for this design. And it goes back to the bird of prey thing, right? Like, you can scale that thing from a small 12-person ship to like a huge Devore, right? So, I mean, it's a design that could incorporate that, I believe, and look natural in all those sizes. So,
I would love to see, you know, we haven't really seen Romulan weapons. They're always very integrated. You know, this is quite unusual to have them so far out. I'd love to see this really decked out with weapons. I mean, it's obviously quite powerful, but why not add more cannons, add more pieces? I'd love to see this a really decked out version, because the configuration works so well with just, yeah, we're going to blow you up. Let's put weapons on, you know? I don't know.
It almost needs like a beak-mounted weapon of some sort, like a plasma torpedo beak. Maybe flesh out that bottom part on the front there would be very cool to see that. So.
Yeah, that's one thing the ship's clearly lacking, is a plasma torpedo. I mean, we don't really see that in post-TOS anyway. Not really. Not the big scale. This is probably, you know, we'll make a standard warship with lots of disruptors. And that's how I've always used it in Armada 2. But yeah, I mean, cool ship. Apparently not as much to talk about as we thought. But we both love it. Obviously, we both think it's a great design. And we wish it was in Star Trek. I think that'd be a great one. Any closing thoughts, Stuart? Or shall I close us right out?
As always, I think it's a fantastic design. I love the FASA stuff, and to see this Romulan era that we never really got to see on screen at all, I think is great, and I think FASA did an incredible job with it. So bravo to all the FASA people out there that did these ships. Some of them needed a little bit more work, but anyway, good job overall.
Beautiful. And tune in next week for another Trekyards mission briefing. Until then, this is Commander Coggins.
And this guy, Captain Foley.
See you next time.